Hi Sohel.
Hi.
So now we'll discuss the questions in the project what we have done on certification portal.
Yeah, sure.
So you know the certification portal project, right? So what
Yeah,
is the
sure.
overview of that? What is the use of this? Why you created this project?
So basically, we created this project for the certification of the user. So this certification is basically uh, the admin will assign the project, assign the certification to the user. For we used it here we used AWS thing for the LLM part, and for the front end part we use Streamlit, and for the back end we use Fast API, and also for authentication we use JWS. So that thing, and also yeah, for the database we use PostgreSQL, so that the user has best interface and also has the easy process to write exam. Yeah, that's it.
So what is the use of this project in real time?
So we just we test the uh, users skill in the part of the certification he is doing. So the organization can give certificates and check that he is skilled enough to get the certificate. Also, he is very also this also a test for the users to check themselves and improve. Also, we have the results part, so can they can check whether they are doing it right or they are thinking logically correct. That's the part very helpful for the users to grow.
Yeah, okay. So I think you have done like you have created two folders for all the backend part in backend folder and all the front end part in front end folder. So why you choose
Yeah.
two folders, not in just one folder?
So basically, when we did have the backend folder and the front end folder, is because it's first of all, it's very stream fast enough and scalable separately. It's scalable separately. It also uh, how to say it? Yeah, if a user if it's also best for the security purposes. So the user has only access to the front end part, and also front end part can be easily what we say manipulated. But when it's come to the back end, we have separate file, and also it's connected and authenticated equally. Then we have the best thing to do.
Okay. So can you just explain me what is the flow of the project output, how it could be?
Yeah. So basically, what we have is first will be the admin's part. So admin should create a certification exam. If if we have a user, let's take a user. So user one has a exam, need to have an exam on Java. Then first of all, admin should create an exam on Java with the help of LLM. So here we have a admin dashboard where he can give the name of the exam and how many questions should name of the exam, language, in which language the certification should be done, and also the number of question and how much time is allocated for the user to write the exam. So then he will assign the exam to the user using his email ID. So email ID, then he will then the part is here. When he assign the exam, there will be a output of email will be sent to the user one to his email ID. Then he will get the part of which exam he is assigned to it, in which site he will get, and he will get the email ID password if he is a new user, even new user. So he will get a new password, basically anything a simple password. Later he can change that. Then we have he will log in into the site which he got the link. Then he will see the dashboard which exams he is assigned to. So when he got like something like Python, there he can see that how much time he is allocated, for the exam and how many questions he has. So in that, the user will write when they start the exam. So the timer will be begin. The user we have the four options, multi-choice options. Then he will choose the right answers and answers basically. Then he will click on the submit button. Then there will be the results. Results will be shown to him. Also, the results will be go to the admin's dashboard part also, where he can see the status of the exam, if the user is started the exam, not started the exam, submitted exam, how much marks he got it, how where he did the mistake, and at what time he did that. So this is the flow of the overall part.
Yeah, okay. So what are the technologies you have used for the backend?
So for the back end, we use fast API part, fast API for the framework, and also we have authentication used for AWS. Then also I use like PostgreSQL for the database, so it will be scalable in this part. And also we have some email SMS part, SMS module part, where we use it for the what for email sending part.
Okay.
Yeah,
So So for the project, you have created two folders, backend and frontend. So you have written the
yeah,
backend part of in the backend folder, and you have created write it in the frontend code in frontend folder. So it should
yeah,
together can run the program, right? So how can they both communicate with
yeah.
each other?
So they communicate basically with use of REST APIs part. So there are the HTTPs over. So there will be have the four types of REST APIs we got. So first one will be the GET API. So basically it's used for the getting information part from the backend, and there is a POST API which is basically used to produce something. Then also there is PUT function. There it will be used for what we say for updatation methods for the JSON loads. These are the basic needs for the part of the communication between front and back end.
Okay. So you said you have used Fast API. So what is Fast
Yeah.
API?
So basically, how can I? Yeah, first of all, it's a framework. Basically, use it in the back end. So what it handles is first one is the APIs. Then it will handle the authentication part. Then it will also handle the database operations. Then also it's also used for has the logic, business logic, how the things will be work when what will so. So it has a high performance base. It also has a built-in validation and also has the automatic API documentation, UI Swagger, using the Swagger, so we can test the each and every endpoint of the backend testing using the Swagger part in the basic thing. Basically, we can each check every each and part of the backend point and logic in the fast API.
Okay. So what is the authentication?
Uh, So what is authentication? So best what is authentication do is like it verifies it. What it verifies is who's the user is, and also the Gmail part when he is login part, and also sees if the user is using the correct session is already is in the database or not. So basically what it does is it verifies each and every point where we are checking for. If it's basically like if you are logging in. So if the he who is logging in, so basically, user is logging in or is the admin is logging in. So if admin is logging, his password is correct. So what we does is we don't store the parts of basically we don't store the plain passwords. We use encoded passwords. So what we does it has a different secret ID. So what it does it when we are writing plain password, it will encode it into into a something script part, which in the some algorithms. Then what it does is basically it stores that encoded part. Then it also checks that part of the token. Basically, he when we are using the JWT token, it uses it has a secure token. It also checks if the token is same or not for the each and every point we are using after logging.
Okay. So what is a JWT token?
So basically, JWT is is a stateless and secure scalable token. So it's what is it? It's avoids sessions on the server, work well as on the HTTP. Basically, it has three things. JWT T has three things. So let me tell you basically how it's generated. So JWT is generated during the login. So we have a secret key and using that using the JW is generated. So each request validates a token signature and also a expiry before processing. So what information it has? First of all is user ID and what role is he is at. Also the token expiry time and also the token type as stored in the payload. So does what's the thing used in the JW?
Okay. So what are the main API endpoints you have used in your project? What main
So
endpoints you have created?
so yeah. So first one will be the registration endpoint, and second will be the login endpoint. Then also we use the start endpoint. Then also I use it for the submit part. Then also have create exam part. So these are the some endpoints. Also there is a result endpoint. There are many things I use. There is also resume endpoint. So these are all the actions that can be done in the fast APIs. So the logic will be run continuously.
Okay. So we have used the session state, right? In
Yeah.
Streamlit. Yes. What is the uh, session state and why it is needed in your project?
So session state, how can I say it? Uh, so the session state is something how yeah. Hmm. So uh, how to tell this? Yeah, basically there is a user. So he when he logins in, since login, it will store like a session for it. So basically, it stores data across the interactions of the log after login and exam process, what he's doing, what he's not doing. So basically, is in the Streamlit concept. So that's the part where session state is.
Okay.
So what it
So,
stores is basically it stores the information of the user's interactions across everything.
okay. So why you choose only Streamlit?
So basically, Streamlit has a rapid UI development. So it has also less code compared to the other counterparts of it, like JavaScript, CSS, HTML, where we need to code really lot. Where comes to the Streamlit, it has a low number of code lines to write. Also, it has very allows us very fast development. Also, what we say, it has a really good interaction points, buttons, many things we can do in the Streamlit with the less code.
So you have created some passwords for the users, right?
Yeah.
So what hashing algorithms you have used? Why you use that hashing algorithm instead of giving just a plain normal password?
So we basically hashing we I use is because it's basically if we store the plain passwords, it can be corrupted, it can be hacked, and it will be easily decoded by anyone using just like the front end part is. So what we use is hash password. It basically we use hash password to protect user data, even if the database is compromised. So the user is also used for many things. So hashing password is basically to not reveal the user's data to anyone. So only the user can know the password. So if the user if user writes something, it will be encrypted to do something other using the secret algorithm. So that's what happens.
Okay. So while you are doing the project, you may see some HTTP errors, HTTP status codes are there, right? So can you just explain me
Yeah.
give me some HTTP errors?
So basically, yeah, sure. There are many. First one is basically we have that what we say 200 part. So what it does it basically it says success. There are many also many things where there is a 401. Then also there is a 401. Basically it shows the error, and there is 403, and also there is 422 HTTP errors. So each and everything is already written in the backend. If we get 200, it means success, and we got 401. Basically, there is something problem in the code, and 403 is basically unauthorized. So something like that. Each and everything has been that like that.
Yeah, okay. So for the database, you have used PostgreSQL. So although we have
Yeah.
so many database out there like MySQL, SQLite, so why you choose only PostgreSQL instead of this?
So PostgreSQL is basically first one is it's very scalable part. So if I use like uh, say SQLite, it will be very unscalable part. And where it comes to the MySQL part, I think when it's computing with the if we need to deploy it in the AWS, use your AWS. So what we need is PostgreSQL, which is very well connected to the AWS part. So it's also reliable, and also it has a relational integrity between the tables. And also but the main thing is it also can handle the JSON data and scales very well.
Okay. So what is
Yeah.
the use of the models.py file you have created in your project? So what is the use of it?
So what is so models.py is basically how we say when we run the state of database, so it will create the tables in the models.py. So here we what we did is we created a basically a blueprint how the how it should be made of how what how many what tables should be created, how many rows in there should which column should be in there, so like that.
Okay. Uh, Now what is a JSON? Why you used JSON here?
So JSON is very human, what we say, human friendly thing. So it can be easily understood by the anyone seeing it. Also, it is very easy and easy to what we say decode, and also we can see. But basically, it will just give the answers within the parentheses, and it's also easy to compute.
Okay. So what is the use of SQL Alchemy? I think you have used SQL Alchemy or M.
Yes, yes.
So what is the use of SQL
So
Alchemy?
SQL Alchemy, what we does is, so it's a Python based query. Instead of, so what we I does is basically we don't use direct SQL. So we didn't use a direct SQL things like raw SQL. We use it like Python based queries instead of the SQL queries. So it also used the SQL injection. So that's the thing. So what is the difference between this ORM and the raw SQL is basically that. So ORM is readable and maintainable and database independent. So whereas raw is basically it is faster than the alchemy, but it's harder to manage. So it's like that part.
Okay.
Basically, we need to reliable or maintainable or we want something like faster, but it is harder to manage. So we just go for the manageable part here. Here, what we need.
Okay. So whenever a user starts the exam, he'll get some set of questions will be given to him. So how the user can get those questions?
So what we does is when we assign the exam, there is a already exam created by the admin. It already has a questions for it in the database. So when we assign that program to the user, so user will get the data from the database, which exam he is assigned to it. Then it will get to the user using the front end part, where it will get the information from the back end. Then basically endpoint. Then it will get the information to him. After that, what it will happen is if he chooses something, each option will be stored in the part where in the back end. So he can if store the part in the back end, and also it also doesn't reveal the answers to him, because the answers are not in the front end part, it's in the back end part. So the after he submitted the whole exam, the information what he done in the front end will be go to the back end. Then it will check each and every question if it's right or wrong, then he will get the result part.
Yeah.
So
So
what it does it, backend fetches questions based on the exam. So we have the exam ID parts for exams, each and every exams. So it sends exam questions without answers. That's what it does.
okay. So what happens if the page is refreshed during an exam?
So what will happen is, as I said before, the session state is already there in the front end. So sessions continue using the stored exam data, and also shows the remaining time of how much time has been exceeded in the allocated time. So it will be like basically resuming part each thing. Basically, he will get the time he got, he used it separated minus what he got. So that's what he got. It will be like basically the same thing he refreshed the exam.
Okay. So what is there in app.py in front end file? So what is it about? Just give me a oral explanation.
Oh, so yeah. App.py is basically a front-end part user interface where we use Streamlit coding, Streamlit technology. So what it does it will create a user interface like anything we want to post something like the login. Also, it will create blanks for the login part. So basically, it's a buttons where the user can click the data, click get into action. So that's what the front end part does. So what we have created is so user can see clear questions, and each and every question has the options. After he selected the option, it will be selected. So each part after he selected the option, it should be stored. So basically, it handles human interaction with the backend. So it shouldn't be like complicated thing. It's just a graphic GUI basically, so the humans can interact with the software or the app you have created. So that's what it does. It's basically front end part of the project, which use user for the front end, so the user can see the front end part and interact with how what options we have given to him.
Okay. So how does the front end store and send the token?
So uh, what do I say? Yeah. So as I said in the before or session shape. So what it do is basically it store the token which is stored in the session state. it will be sent via the authorization bearer token header. So with this front end sender part, it will do that part, send a token to the back.
Okay. So what happens if an expired or invalid token is given?
So what will it will be basically through some error. Basically, if it's invalid or expired data, then there is a HTTP error, which is 401, I think, which is basically means unauthorized response, or it's basically forces the relogin. Basically, when you enter something invalid, basically it will show again relogin page. Go to the relogin page and shows it is not right. You need to correct answer on a password for it. Login.
Okay. So what are the commands you have used to do the project, like to run the project?
So we use basically first we need to run the backend part. So we use the UV Then we use in the path of the app. So basically I have created first part is backend. So backend. Then we have app. Then we go to the main, which is the fast API host. Then in the main there is an app, which is the fast API app. We wrote we command use uvcon. We send this, then the backend will be started. So if I use what minus a reload, then what it will have, it will keep reloading each every time. So even if we do some changes in the backend, it will reload after the changes is done. When it's time to the front end part, then we will go to into the front end part in the bash. Then we will command like streamlit. So basically we are using the streamlit module. Then we run Streamlit run, then we put the file name to it, which is basically we use it here is app.py. So then the back end and front end will both will be first back end is activated, then front end activated, then both will be interact to each other in the via front end
Okay.
token REST API.
Okay. So to run the project, I have just run the Streamlit only. I have not run the backend. So what I'll get now?
Yeah. So basically, you will get a error basically saying that backend is not running. Then you will can't even do anything basically. So it will show through error.
Okay.
You can't
So
even do the path anything. Yeah.
okay. So you have given some timer for the exam. So where you handle this timer, where you have created this timer in your project?
So yeah, first one the timer is added in the front end part,
Okay.
but there is a validation part uh, which is keep doing for the which is basically given to the backend.
Okay.
So backend control. So how much time is given is controlled by the backend, and how much time has used will be sent it to backend each and every time.
Okay.
So when the time ends, if the user is writing the exam, and the time ends, what it does is backend automatically submits the exam
Okay.
and also logs the further changes even if he is trying to do.
So what happens
That's
when the
what.
timer is exit?
So what when we exit the exam.
Yeah, when the timer get exit, like the timer comes to zero.
And okay,
Yes.
okay. When what happen is it will auto submit. So backend what it does it's auto submits the whole exam and log further changes. It will basically auto submit it and give you the result for that exam. With so it will not wait for the even 1 second. The timer is gone below zero, then it's completed. Like submitted. You can't do anything for that.
Okay. So do you also hear the swagger, right? So what is the use
Yes,
of
sir.
this swagger?
So what is the basically it is used for uh, if we create a endpoint in the backend, it will shown in the Swagger. It's basically UI part of the backend. So it's a basic UI part where we give input to the backend without using the Streamlit part. So we test each and every point it is running or not. Is there any error in the code? Is there anything we need to change for the code to run it smoothly? And how the inputs are taken by the backend? If it is taken by the JSON format or it's taking like a plain format, what it's taking and testing each and every part here. So that's what the Swagger will do. So basically, it's for the testing part for the each and every endpoint of the backend.
Okay. So you have the clear idea of the project.
Yeah, mostly I will say that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. Thank you, Sohel.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.